Go ahead and call the meeting to order. Everyone please stand and pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Did everyone have an opportunity to review the May 17th, 2022 minutes?
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of May 17, 2022. I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Audience call. Andy Lytle.
Just name, where do I go? Right here?
You're good.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good.
Great. Andy Lytle with Microdome Computers. We do some IT services for the town of Hanover. And I was asked to come to discuss the proposal for your antivirus renewal for the upcoming year or years. So does everybody have a copy of the quote? Okay. I can either speak or you can just ask questions if you would rather do it that way.
So what you have circled here now, this is 1,200, that's what we are doing?
Did you circle something on the copy?
No,
No,
currently what we
Did you
have
circle
now.
that?
Okay.
That's what we have now.
I had actually circled that.
Okay.
Okay, so is that what we have now?
Yes, that's the second one.
Second one?
Well, no, that's not necessarily, that is what we have currently, the second one.
Second line
But
item?
what we were torn on, Andy, and the reason we tabled this last time was because our budget year, we're getting ready to go into budget talks for next year. And this was a pretty big difference between these two, and we didn't quite understand why, what, and how.
Okay.
So the question to you was, we didn't feel like we could approve immediately, but we wanted to have the information now to make a good decision on which one we should go with, and at least for the year. Correct, Debbie, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
We're probably going to select a 1 year of one or the other, and then have you explain to the council why we, more than your little, you sent a little narrative, but
Right.
I think if they have a question, they could ask.
Sure.
It'd be
Yeah.
better to have you explain it than me.
Okay, that makes sense. So the second line item there is the current protection that you have, which is a endpoint protection 1-year license. That expires on the 10th of June. The other 1-year option is the upgraded protection. It's 360. And I'll just briefly, I won't get real technical because I know that makes people glaze over, but the major difference on the two products is everybody's heard about ransomware and zero-day attacks. Municipalities, cities getting hit with ransomware, your files get encrypted, and then they're held ransom for a monetary amount. That protection actually takes that down to like under 1%, if not, I never say zero in IT,
Yeah.
but what it is, the way it works, is everything is considered bad unless it's for sure good. So traditional antivirus is, does our database, our definitions say this is bad and then it detects it as bad? This is the opposite. Everything is bad unless it's good. So the chances of infection are extremely low. The only thing you have to make sure of is that the protection is truly on all the devices. That's of course a must. But as you can see, if you're talking about budgeting, I do understand that the 3-year option is a much better deal, but if it's not already in the budget, then it makes sense to do a 1-year option and just budget for that 3-year next time. It's almost like buying 2 years, getting almost one free. So it does have a value, but that's not a concern of ours. We just wanted to propose it so for future. So, any questions on that? We do personally use the 360. I know a lot of times a lot of people like to know, like when you go purchase a cell phone, what kind of cell phone does the person selling you that phone use?
Yeah.
We use the AD360 product internally.
Are you seeing most people going for this?
We're slowly pushing it out
Yeah.
as people's renewal dates are approaching.
Right.
We've been pushing it out just because any of our clients that have it, the rate of infection in general has gone down tremendously.
So it would be the 2070 would be the 1 year?
That's correct. It'd be the 2070 for the 1 year of the advanced, the AD360, and then I don't know exactly what pricing we'll do in a year from now, but based on previous year or two, it's been pretty consistent. I think it went up about 5%, so it's not too bad.
Right.
So for the 30 licenses that the town has, for a 3-year, you want to budget somewhere in that $5,000 to $6,000 range.
Okay.
My question, Andy, was did we have Had we been, has this been similar? Have we been doing the 3-year bundle kind of discounts? Like you're buying 2, getting 1 free basically, right? For both these plans. So had we been doing that in the
No.
past? Okay.
No, and it's something, so Panda Security got purchased by WatchGuard Security, which is a very large security company, and they started really pushing the 2 and 3 year, just like you have a customer for a lot longer. We don't push long-term stuff usually. In this case, it makes sense because it's not a disposable item, like you can reuse it. So just because a machine has it on it, if you replace that machine, the license is transferable. It's a pool. So I'm a big fan of saving money over long-term with this type of product.
How often do you see the products improving and changing right now? So in 2 years from now, we've signed up for 3 and we're facing, oh man, there's way better product. How quick is it growing or getting better? How quick have you seen it growing already?
So what they've kind of done with this product is it is their premier product and they keep upgrading it. They aren't adding new products that are better and better. They're actually upgrading that engine. It's been 6 to 7 years and it's still 8360. They're increasing the protections and the reporting and all that, but it's still the exact same product.
So no additional charge to us per se?
Correct.
Were to make some changes?
Yeah, if they
Just
were
get
to
it updated?
Yep, if they were to release a major update that they say their engine is vulnerable and they want to do something different with it, it would be included under that agreement.
Makes sense.
And this covers the front office, the police department, everything for this
Yes. Let's see, hall, police department, all the laptops.
All the laptops.
And then what else? A couple outer line miscellaneous machines. Yeah, and I believe, I looked at the report, you have like 28 or 29 that were in use. There was a couple that fell off because they hadn't reported back, so that usually means the machine had been replaced. What I would recommend, just have someone internally look at every machine that's in the town and just make sure they see the Panda head in the corner. If not, we can send an installer email for that. So that's the biggest thing is we have several clients that it's the better protection. I will be honest, it's a little more annoying at first because it is so aggressive, but it learns. So I don't remember if you're still using Keystone over in the billing utility. Keystone has a tendency of flagging a lot each time there's an update, but that just means that it's noticing that is different.
Right.
And
Which is what you wanted
you want it
to
to
do.
do that.
Yeah.
So it has an annoyance, but at the same time, you got to remember it's really doing its job.
Just doing its job, yeah.
So, but yeah, that we would want to make sure, we want to go through real quick and just make sure that everybody is on. And you have a couple, 2 or 3 licenses of 30 that look like they've been several months out, so they might be able to be recovered as usable licenses in case you find some machines that aren't protected.
Okay.
And then worst case, we can add licenses onto the 30 incrementally, single licenses at a time.
So Keith,
Yeah.
If we're gonna
Tell
add,
us money.
if we're gonna add Forte, also to our park rec, it'll take care of that also, right?
Say that again?
Forte is gonna be our billing system for our recreation department.
Okay.
It'll cover all that too also.
Yeah, as long as it's on a
on a
PC.
PC that's covered. Yeah.
As long as it's on a PC that's covered, anything you put on there will be, yeah. What I've found is that the less popular the software is, the more flags you'll get on that software, but it will learn it. But that doesn't mean that, it really depends on how the software is developed. If the manufacturer of the software, the developer, is not kind of standardized with industry standards like QuickBooks or something like that, it will actually flag it. But it has a self-learning thing where it sends it out, it analyzes it real quick by a lab, and then pushes back an approval or denial of it. And then we can override it too. So if you say, I'm trying to open up Keystone,
Right.
I know it's Keystone, it will not open, we can override it.
Keith,
So I guess the only recommendation difference that I would make is that based on our budget,
We go 1 year.
go 1 year,
Yeah.
but we could definitely look to hit the 2070. Go ahead and hit the 8360 now for the year. Now, if we look at these numbers, you say 5 to 6, you could see it staying in that range. If we budgeted for this next year, when you come to us next year, when this runs out again, June 10th, what kind of number would you anticipate we need to put in this year's budget if we were wanting to do
Sure.
that 3-year deal again? I know it's a loaded question.
Yeah.
Roughly.
How much would gas be next week?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No, I can give you kind of a good idea. If your license number doesn't change, so if we're still at 30, take that out of the picture. In 1 year, looking at the last 3 years, figure, on the high side, figure 10%.
Okay.
It's probably gonna be more like 0 to 5. So if you figured $5,500, you should be safe. And if we're off by a couple $100, we can absorb that on the margin side.
Okay. We appreciate you. Can we get that in writing?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll make sure I have that.
Right. I am on video, right?
Duly noted.
Bob recorded it.
My attorney's here too, so how does this work?
He's mine too. It's gonna work out. All right, so 5,500 is the number. Let's go with it. I think my recommendation to you guys would be, let's go with that 1 year, 2070. I'll make that motion if you'd like.
I'll make a motion to go for the 1 year, $2,070.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thanks for coming.
And can I take that as to go ahead since it's due?
Yes.
on the 10th? Okay, will do. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Hey, if you wouldn't mind doing one thing,
Yeah.
if you could send the differences by email to Keith so he can forward it to us, just so we can see the difference between each one of these.
I didn't want to get you too crazy confused, but the column right in where it says endpoint protection is what you have now, and the far column is what you would be going to.
Okay.
And the red boxes mean it's full protection, the empty red boxes mean it is partially supported, which usually just means it works, but they don't guarantee it.
I like to have that.
Yeah. Does anybody else, I have a couple more of those.
Yeah, I'd like one.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right.
Here, might as
Oh,
well.
thank you.
I don't need it. And thank you.
Thank
See you,
you.
man. Thanks a lot.
Uh-huh.
Before we move on past this real quick, the last piece of business with this, we did not put this amount on the accounts payable on the voucher because I didn't know which one you guys would accept. But we need to pay it because you heard it expires, it's due on the 10th, so I need to be able to pay it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But we knew
So
the
you-
timing, it's not like. it's
You need a motion to
I need
pay
a
it.
motion to accept it so
Okay.
we can pay it without.
I'll make a
So
motion.
we haven't finished the other one yet. You
You
made
did,
the motion, I
okay.
seconded it, but we all didn't say
I
aye.
thought, yeah,
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't remember us saying that.
Okay, I'll withdraw my motion and make a motion that we do that 2,070 and that we authorize Keith to pay it.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Fewer
Nothing
words
like
for you
last
to
minute
write.
here.
Yeah,
I got it.
That's a great day too.
yeah, that's good.
Just keep that, here's a big one.
Okay.
We don't need any help.
All right.
You have that twice.
Anybody else for audience call? Department heads. Rick?
I passed out a sheet to you there. Baker Tilly had contacted me about a 5-year recap of our, the amount of money in our permits, the construction cost, the estimated construction costs. If you look at it there, if you look at total value there, that is the amount of money that has been put into the community as far as buildings. Now, there's 3 different types here, residential, non-residential, and other. What I put under other was swimming pools, pool houses. The non-residential were pole barns, shelter houses, anything that wasn't really connected to the home. And then the residential was new homes, plus any additions to homes, any living space. So as you can see there, in the residential, in 2017, there was 314,000. 18 was 896. 2019, 1,426,000. 2020, 3,383,000. 2021, 4,376,000. And that really reflects the number of houses we have put in.
Big difference.
In 2017, we had 3 new homes built in this community. 2018, we had 6. 2019, we had 7. And in 2020 and 2021, well, 2020, we've had 24 new homes. 2021, there were 24 new homes permitted. Some of them haven't been completed yet. So, but that's where we stand on that.
Good.
Do you have any questions about that? I had questions on Baker Tilly because I wasn't really sure. You know, Kim kind of cleared it up as much as she could, you know, with them.
It's right there, just so you know. That's not Baker Tilly, right? It's them.
But that's who that is.
I'm the one that's asking for the information.
Oh, you're the one that I kept putting off? Is that
No.
That's you, okay. Did you get my email? Okay, good deal, good deal. Did I explain that properly?
Yes.
Okay, okay, good. Because you explained it to me, so I think I'm a little old, you know, I don't remember everything, so we can go from there. Way to set me up, Keith.
I was saving you. I didn't know what
You
you
were
might say.
saving
Yeah, but you could have told me before he started
Well, I didn't have a
talking.
chance. It snuck in on me.
You did good, Rick.
We are in about 3 or 4 cases on our code enforcement right now. We are just about to visit some folks with our equipment, mowing, cleaning up. I'm going to get with Devin later on just to make sure I'm in the right neighborhood, but I've got no response from these folks. Okay? There have been several that have responded by either getting their yards mowed, cleaning their trash up, doing what we're expecting. Now, we've got some other issues now that have been brought up. Chickens is one of them. Farm animals, we got a couple places where goats are, and people are not happy with that. You know, I guess we have to sit down and develop an ordinance for that particular item, but we got chickens running loose in the neighborhoods. I had a call today about a dog. You know, we're kind of checking on that right now. That has went after a couple people. We haven't located it yet. I think they got a hold of Paul as well to get out here and take a look, see if we can get that animal located.
Area.
Over by the school and the park in this area right here. So it's a brown pit bull mix.
Yeah.
So if you happen to see it, please get a hold of me or get a hold of Shane or anybody so we can get a hold of Paul and get him out here on it. So
And you have a rooster on, what is it, Shane Sycamore, that the lady was complaining to me about? I can't remember what street,
That's
but
the area, but
Yeah.
I ain't seen any chickens over
it's a rooster crowing right at daylight.
yeah, I don't, well, that's what, I mean, that's an alarm clock right
I
there.
know.
And then,
I know it.
I know we've got over by the water tower in the trailer court.
Right.
And then I think at the, over on, just right down this West Street there, there's some chickens, so.
We got some turkeys too.
Got,
Yeah. we
that's
got a lot
over
of
across,
turkeys.
crossing the park there.
Yeah.
That individual has visited me a couple times when
Yeah.
I've been out around there, so. Any questions? All right, thank you.
Thanks, Rick.
Shane? Got May stats, the 252 calls for service, 26 arrests, 41 written warnings, 16 written tickets. We've had a couple of DUI, WI arrests this month, several more drug arrests, and even has the charge of the kidnapping there from the stolen vehicle. So, that's all I have.
that was solved very fast.
It was like 12 minutes from
Yeah.
the time of call
Yeah.
to the child was in custody.
Good job.
Anything else?
Good job.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Scott?
You follow up the chicken, Scott?
Yeah.
Yeah. The new generator it's ready to go at College Hills, and we're waiting on the propane tank to be set, that it's all hooked up. Duke come out and cut the power off today. We got that squared away. Water's running real good, no high usage, sewer plant's running fine. We've just been cleaning up around, started on Rainbow Park. You guys bought new equipment, so we're gonna, quit raining. We took 6 dump truck loads of dirt over it, and it rained the next day.
Well, it looks great, like it is, with the new paving and,
Yeah, we're just gonna
yeah, it looks great.
build up the edge,
Can't even hardly get in there to work one of those.
but you
Yeah,
can't,
the bud.
but we'll get the playground set up, and
Yeah,
Do it when you can do it, don't
That's
worry about
right.
getting all wet.
like
No
today
sense
it
putting it in
rained,
the-
tomorrow we're hauling sludge.
yeah,
And
yeah.
we're kinda short-handed, cause, you know,
We built that in the middle of winter, remember?
yeah,
So,
yeah,
when,
but, everything's really running pretty good.
won't yet on the fence for the treatment plant.
It's funny you brought it up. I texted the guy again today.
Yeah,
It's, we may have to go to a backup bidder on it
I know we
because
had another tree fall down on part of the fence.
Well, that's what, is any of that covered on insurance? Cause it took out the whole,
I wouldn't want to claim it. I mean,
okay.
we're kind of claim free for as bad a shape
Okay.
as that fence has been in.
Yeah,
I don't know
The
how you
next-
want, I wouldn't want.
if we're putting new, I wouldn't claim it.
The only problem is, is the next bidder quite a bit difference, or
It was quite a bit,
8,000 or 9,000 or something?
yeah. But $8,000 or $9,000 difference in getting it finished is getting complete.
That guy was, I don't know what he is now, but he was like 2 weeks out.
And the most we're gonna get out of the money that we got from our grant was what it is. That was the amount of money it's gonna be. We're on the hook for the difference, but I've done everything I can.
The other guy, he's,
I mean, great guy, but he's not showing up to do the job, so it doesn't matter.
well, the
Oh,
guy,
how good he is, yeah.
I don't know if the prices got ahead of
yeah,
him.
the guy that come
Probably
bid it,
happened, the cost of
said he
material.
bid it, the guy
Who is
bid
it?
it too cheap, that's why.
Blevins Fence Company. And I literally just texted him this afternoon with no response again, so I've tried everything.
When was
I
he
can.
supposed to start?
Well, without throwing him under the bus, I will place the order this evening. That was on August 13th.
Of last year?
So, and then when we got the updated pros, April 11th, he wanted to look back over the quote and asked if I could text him a copy, so I texted it back to him, and I haven't heard back from him since then. So my fear is, he's looked at the cost since that.
Does he know your number?
He knows my number. You want
You
it?
don't know mine?
Yeah.
What's his number?
I love it. This is
Write it
great
down,
stuff.
pass it over.
Yeah, don't say it, everybody will be calling it.
Everybody that's watching it be calling.
It is what it is.
I know.
Put a bid in for it. Just wanted to come do it. Super guy. He said he-
He was
And
recommended.
he was one of the few that actually would physically come and looked at it.
Yeah,
So it's not like
nobody-
he's winged it from an aerial.
2
photo.
people out of the dozen came and looked at it.
It's, evidently, that's the business for people to get into is the fence business, so.
This in Scott's area, but what about the handicap swing, have you heard?
Well, the last I had was Debbie and I talked to,
I can't think of her name.
yeah,
And-
was married to Raleigh, passed away,
Yeah.
Mike's auto, Valerie.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
wow.
And she gave us a rundown, and she's pulling some information. She dropped some stuff off over at Town Hall the other day.
Uh-huh,
The swing that Madison bought
right.
doesn't work that well.
Mm.
It's not
For
big
kids,
enough.
for kids wheelchairs.
Yeah.
and
That's
adult
kind of
wheelchairs.
the wheelchairs. That's
It's
it.
the length and size of them.
Yeah.
It's not something that's uniform, and so they know of one that was better. She dropped off some literature, so I'm looking into getting a price on that, but the one that we quoted from the place that Kenny got, our other equipment over at Rainbow, they had the same product essentially that Madison had, and she was going to Madison meetings at the same time, talking to them about wasn't really the best
I
scenario.
saw Madison's being used today.
Yeah.
So, and she didn't say they wouldn't work, but she
Right.
explained the process a little
Yeah.
bit and the problems.
Does our donor know that?
Uh,
I don't want to lose our donor.
I don't know that the donor knows that.
Well, unless you told him,
No.
he doesn't.
Send him an email tomorrow.
You've got his email. I just think we should keep him updated,
Yeah, definitely.
because he's footing the bill.
Yeah, that wouldn't take long to put up either.
Yeah,
Doesn't have to, because this one right here, right?
right,
Yeah. So if you get it, we'll just
right.
put it up in a day or so after we get it.
What time frame are we looking to put up the other equipment? How long do you think it'll take?
It'll take a while, it's pretty big.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. It's on size.
It's really weather related too.
Yeah.
Putting it together is one thing, getting it in there, getting the other out and getting that in.
It'll take a week.
If that's all, yeah.
It'll take a week.
It'd take a
That's all you
week.
had to do.
I mean,
Yeah.
can we ask for volunteers and stuff? I mean, pick a salary, I mean, that's how.
I don't know about liability. The only thing is who puts it together. We're responsible for somebody, you know what I mean?
Right.
I think the right person putting it together.
Yeah, I think if
Help getting it
volunteers
out.
are nice, but
Well, I just know other communities have done that.
Yeah.
I mean, Carrollton, their whole community got together and built the playground over there, I think.
yeah, it might work out that way too. When it dries up, we gotta mark everything because we gotta put the post in the ground.
Right. I just don't want it to be sitting in your garage.
We're still
Well, I
trying
wanna
to
get in
For
there,
a
like you
year.
said, we started on it, and it's nothing but rain.
Right,
every day,
right,
so-
right. And I just know how busy you guys are, so.
Yeah.
But you gotta have some patience. You gotta have a little patience.
I don't have patience, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it would probably, if we started on a Monday, it'd take us a bit of a week when we do start on it.
It's big.
Because we're gonna have to come up with the mulch for it to make it safe. Once we build it, we're gonna,
Right.
it's too wet over there, so I'm not gonna build it in there. I'm not gonna dig a hole and put mulch in it. I'm gonna put it above the ground.
We are moving it closer to the driveways, and the parking area.
Yeah, it's gonna come.
So, yeah, and that'll be good. But you're paving, all that looks good.
Yeah, it looks good.
That big ditch isn't there, and
It's better.
looks
Yeah, it
good.
looks
A
good.
lot more parking, a lot more availability.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I got, if you got any questions.
Thanks, Scott.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a whole lot to say or do on clerk treasurer. Everything's going well, the office is great. Staff keeps killing, so there's not a lot for me. From my office, we're gonna be talking about it here coming up shortly, obviously, with our sewer project, the potential rate changes and such that we're gonna be looking forward to in the future. But overall, everything's going smooth in our office. So, it doesn't look like, also, just so everyone knows, it originally looked like we were gonna be closed next week for training,
All right,
and we're not gonna be.
okay.
So, we're not gonna be closed for that training. Any question? Pardon me?
Is that all you got?
That's all I have.
Anybody have anything for Keith? Old business, Gold Green Committee.
Go Green Committee. I have 3 people committed to serving. Now we're trying to coordinate some times, get everybody to work together. So that's kind of where we are. We're working at it.
Website, we've had 2 training sessions for the rec side. I just talked to Kyle today about a session with Linda, just on the town side. So he'll probably set up a couple meetings with her. I know we have 8 to 10 set up for the rec side within the next month. So as soon as we get these training sessions done, they're looking to go live with this site, so it's not gonna be long. It'll be up before probably midsummer. So I'm happy about that, because we first talked about just hoping to get it up by 2023, so it's going pretty good. APR plan,
And we're just looking at on here.
think we're just leaving that.
Yeah, we're just leaving,
Need a work
we just
session.
needed another work session, so.
I put several work session. Antivirus and rules, microdome,
Just took care of that.
final rating of cable advisory.
Oh, I think that was taken care of the last
It was.
meeting. That was good the last
We
meeting.
put it on there because we wanted to make sure I brought the paperwork to Devin so he could see it, because I believe you weren't here, nor were you at that last meeting, correct?
It was approved at the last meeting.
So he just wanted to make sure that we put it on there so we could,
It was in my stack of
if I
stuff.
forgot to say it, we had it.
Right.
Okay.
It was in my, that gigantic pile, so it's.
Now we're just waiting on the commissioners to.
Yeah. We probably need to, oh yeah, we probably need to send it to them, they can't send it.
Okay.
So we probably need to circulate
Yeah.
a copy.
So send it to the commissioners.
The ordinance and the interlocal.
Any other old business? As far as old business, I know I sent an email out to you guys of all the things that's going on that we've planned to do that we haven't gotten through yet. And a lot of it, well, I shouldn't say that really, none of it has to do with the DNR part, like park signs that we're talking about. Things like that. We probably need to have a meeting and just discuss all those things.
That's what I thought we'd do at our work session, the ARP, and make a list. Keith's already started a list of things that need to be done.
New business. New fee agreement with bond council for SRF bond sewer project. Boom.
So, Tom Pittman has been our counsel for been our bond counsel for this SRF bond. We close, we're hopefully closing June 30th. Tom and I talked, I'm not changing my fee. This is Tom's fee as far as increasing his fee. His original fee was $35,750. He's asked to increase that fee to $48,250. The reason for that is there's been quite a bit more work as far as negotiating the financing agreement with the college. And then this has turned into two separate bonds essentially now. One for the town and the other for the college. And that took quite a bit more work, frankly. I know Tom's done a really nice job communicating. Scott and Baker Tilly can attest to that. I think it's appropriate under the circumstances. So I think I've got the agreement's the same other than the fee, and this isn't something the town writes a check for. It's part of the SRF bonds. So just ask that the council approve that.
So we need a motion.
Yes.
Is it to Baker Tilly?
No, this is Barnes and Thornburg is Tom Pittman.
Okay, I make a motion to increase the fee to $48,250 for Barnes and Thornburg, Tom Pittman.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Notice of award for sewage project. You have that good here?
No. Do you not have that?
I do not have that.
That's a letter.
Who it is?
I know who it is. I know I brought it. Oh, here it is.
So Sam brought an awful lot of paper.
I brought everything, I know it is. Sorry.
It's
Yeah.
finding it.
This is the notice of award to the town of Hanover for the 2022 sanitary system improvements from the town of Hanover and Hanover College. The bidder was Mack Construction and Excavating Incorporated. The bidder's address is 1908 Underwood Court, New Albany, Indiana, 47151. We are notified that the owner has accepted the bid date of May 26, 2022 for the above contract. and that you are a successful bidder and award the contract for the 2022 sanitary system improvements. The contract price of the award contract is $4,475,610. The unexecuted counterparts of the agreement accompany this notice of award, and one copy of the contract documents accompanies this award or has been transmitted or made available to the bidder electronically. You must comply with the following conditions within 15 days of the date of receipt of notice for the award. Deliver to owner 3 counterparts of the agreement fully executed by bidder. Deliver the executed agreements by contract security and insurance documentation as specified in the instructions to bidders, Article 20, and general conditions, Articles 2 and 6. Other conditions: enroll in and verify work eligibility status of all of its newly hired employees through E-Verify program. Submit completed E-Verify affidavit form to owner. Submit E-Verify case verification numbers for each individual required to be verified under IC 22-5-1.7 that will be working on this project. Failure to comply with these conditions within the time specified will entitle owner to consider you in default. Default the notice of this award and declare your bid security forfeited. Within 10 days after you comply with the above conditions, owner will return to you one fully executed counterpart of the agreement together with any additional copies of the contract documents as indicated in paragraph 2.02 of the general conditions.
Kenny, before you're with Mac Construction, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just wanted to thank you guys for putting bid in. For myself and Kenny, I know, and all the council members that's been involved, Scott Williams, Scott Miller, Devin, this has been an ongoing project for 2 years. The amount of calls and emails and messages and behind the scenes. And the fact that you guys were able to put a competitive bid before us that was respectful, I appreciate it. We all appreciate it, and did it in a really quick time. The turnaround on it was stupid crazy quick. Once we got the go-ahead that we were in the fundability range, it was like game's on. So it was impressive, to say the least. So it's exciting for our community. I know it's just, to a lot of people, maybe just seem like a sewer project, but it's a big step for our community to fix a lot of issues that we've got collectively.
Not only that part, but the sewage plant itself.
Yeah, just everything it's going to do for us as a community is huge. So appreciate your all's effort and time you put in getting those numbers dialed in like you did.
We thank you all and appreciate you recognizing that. And it is our intent. I think maybe there's going to be a delay due to the SRF, maybe till the end of the month. It is our intent to start at our risk, no risk to the town. The submittal process, we've talked to the engineer, I think they're good with it, to get them to review the submittals so that we can order the material the day we're fully released, because time is critical for that. So
Absolutely.
we are continuing right now, so we appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, super exciting. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, proposed rate.
All right. An ordinance amending ordinance 2015-15 establishing new rates and charges for the use and services rendered by the sewage work system of the town of Hanover, Indiana. Whereas the town of Hanover, Indiana has heretofore constructed and has in operation a sewage works utility, and whereas the town council has previously established the existing schedule of user rates and charges for sewage works service pursuant to the ordinance adopted by the council in December of 2015. And whereas the town has employed Baker Tilly Municipal Advisors to prepare a rate report reviewing the sufficiency of existing rates and charges. Whereas the municipal advisor has prepared and submitted a rate report which concludes that existing rates and charges are insufficient to pay all the legal and other necessary expenses incident to the operation of the utility, including maintenance costs, operating charges, upkeep, repairs, depreciation, including increases in such costs, and the payment of principal and interest on bonds, future bonds, or other obligations. Whereas pursuant to Indiana Code 36-9-23 as amended, this council may change or adjust its existing schedule of fees by ordinance after providing notice and conducting a public hearing. And whereas the clerk treasurer of the town has given notice of the public hearing on proposed rates as provided in the act. And whereas the public hearing was held before this council on June 20, or will be held before this council on June 21st, 2022, at which time testimony from interested persons will be received after introduction of this ordinance and as provided by the act. Now therefore be it ordained by the town council of the town of Hanover, Indiana as follows. Section 1, the council hereby finds and determines that based upon the rate report, the existing rates and charges are insufficient to pay all the legal and other necessary expenses incident to the operation of the utility, including maintenance costs, operating charges, upkeep, repairs, depreciation, including increases in such costs, and the payment of principal and interest on bonds, future bonds, or other obligations. Section 2, the council finds and determines that the proposed rates, charges as set forth in the rate report are non-discriminatory, reasonable, and just, and therefore should be adopted. Section 3, the council finds and determines that the proposed rates set forth in Exhibit A are hereto are non-discriminatory, reasonable, and just, and should be adopted. Section 4, all ordinances, parts of ordinances in conflict herewith are hereby repealed. Section 5, this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage. This ordinance shall be effective for bills rendered on or after the date after adoption of this ordinance or such later date as set forth in Exhibit A hereto. So that is just the first reading, so we just need to approve to move to the second reading.
Do we know what that ordinance number is going to be?
I don't. Probably guess. We got the rate of the ordinance in there, but I don't want to get into Kim's, trouble if we mess it up.
Yeah, I'll let you take the blame.
What was it part of that? What's the big? Oh, that's a different ordinance. So it'll be 2022-7.
You need a motion.
Just to
To
move on.
approve the first reading.
I make a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance 2022-7.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So the next meeting, we'll have the June 21st meeting, we'll have the public hearing before the meeting
Right,
starts.
right.
And then we'll have the.
Final.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other new business? Sewage adjustment.
Okay, hold on.
Do you want me to distribute the final rate study so that everybody's got a copy?
Seems like the right time.
Yep.
It's nice to finally see Scott. We've been on Zoom and off this side.
A long time. Good to finally be in person.
Oh, you emailed the draft of this too, didn't you, Scott?
Thank you.
Yeah, I emailed the draft, so everybody probably has the draft copy. This is just a final signed copy. And we don't have to, but if you have any questions, I can answer any questions about it. It has been a 2-year process, and this is the first project I've worked on in quite a while where the bids came in at engineer estimate. So this is really good. Everyone else has been millions of dollars more. So, but yeah, we've got, the agreement with the college has worked out. They're in here. Their normal rate goes up, but then they're also paying all of the debt associated with that second bond issue that was mentioned. So they'll have that extra charge as well. And yeah, it's a mad scramble to get to June 30 to get this closed. We have a pre-closing is the 22nd, the day after your public hearing, I believe. And then the closing with theirs.
We're cutting it by hours on 2 years.
But you're getting the 2% interest rate, which is probably not going to be the same come July 1st. So good to take advantage of that.
We appreciate your effort.
Oh, so much. You and Katie, everybody's just been
It's been awesome.
Yeah,
amazing.
my pleasure.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I guess just to button it up, the only things I have left are a couple of things with a couple of agreements that are left to be done, but I've got drafts out on all those. Part of it's having access to some property and all those things, but I think I don't know what I can say. If you need anything, let me know.
Most of that stuff with the college, right?
Yeah, one in the fraternity, which
And then Devin brought up a great point earlier regarding the parking lot and the park. Some deed paperwork probably back there after survey and different stuff, so.
I've got it on mine. It's in the file.
Yeah, so plenty to do, but that's going on as well.
All that's at the top of yours.
Yeah.
Hanover parking lot, Hanover is on file.
Any other new business? Sewage adjustment.
Okay, Keith, I have a question on this.
Yeah.
Did this gentleman, it says proof of repair must be attached.
Yeah, and there's not a proof of repair, he just eliminated it. His proof of repair was he had abandoned the line that was there, so he took care of the parts on hand, so
Okay.
it's rough for him. So,
Okay, all right,
done a great job.
okay, just check.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
came
saw
in,
it?
he came in and brought it to us. He
Oh, well,
so,
good.
We got to see it firsthand today.
Okay.
That's even
all right.
better.
I was there when he brought it.
Okay, just checking. Okay, so then I make a motion that we approve the sewer adjustment for Ralph Earl on 118 East Main, Hanover, had a water hydrant left on, broken handle. The adjustment is $131.58.
58. I'll second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Accounts payable.
Make a motion to approve the accounts
Do
payable.
we need
voucher.
to add the $870 to that, because that was the difference, the total? Do you want that 800 between the two?
I thought we just approved it as two
I
separate
know, but
things.
did you want the
No.
number?
No,
So
just
okay.
leave that the way it is, and
Okay.
you just approve it, because what we'll do is it'll come up on the next accounts, but it'll come up on the
Okay,
next accounts.
all right.
So we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good with that number.
Okay. Make a motion to approve the accounts payable vouchers in the amount of $361,100.48.
Plus, how much was it, Keith?
Plus-
2,000?
You don't have to include that, you've already
You don't have to
included
include
it.
Okay.
That's gonna be on the next
But-
accounts payable. voucher.
Okay, so it's not in this total?
No, it's not in that total,
Okay,
and it won't be, it'll be in the next total.
okay.
You just basically given us authorization to pay that in advance, so we meet our deadline, because we didn't know it until tonight. So
Okay, so our
just
motion's
approve this.
good then?
Yeah, your
Okay.
motion's
I'll
good.
second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Announcements, next Hanover Town Council meeting will be held on Tuesday, June 21st, 2022 at 6 PM here at the Hanover Community Center, 200 Spruce Lane, Hanover, Indiana, 47243. Cleanup Hanover Days will be July 16th through July 24th and is free service for all Hanover residents living inside the town limits. A flyer with more information will be arriving in June and July with your water bills. Anybody have any other announcements?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.